What's up, world? It's your boy Dennis with ImagistellTV. I'm wishing you all good vibes and jazzy feels this week wherever you are. This week I wanted to talk a little bit about what the super secret, not secret key to success, happiness, and the ultimate you is.
Sounds like a book title.
Side note, sometimes I feel really crazy doing these videos because there's so much to say and so much information and so many stories, and I just can't talk fast enough to make it all happen in 6 minutes, but oh well. One day several years ago, I was going about my day when God, or the universe, the consciousness, or whomever you call your higher power, out of the blue said, "Dennis, who told you that your imagination is fiction?" I was like,
I don't know.
The universe proceeded to explain how we learn to believe that our imaginations are fiction through implication. For example, remember being in 3rd or 4th grade and your teacher tells the class,
"Put your heads down, close your eyes, I'm going to read to you a story and I want you to imagine what's happening."
The implication is that because it is not happening in that very moment in that physical space, it's not real. Because it is directly correlated to the use of our imagination, this is one way we learn to believe that our imaginations are fiction. Here's the problem with that. That's not completely accurate. It's not even logical. It determines that our imaginations are not valid to be relied upon for anything good except to be childish. Or,
And our expansion will never amount to anything or make any money.
also untrue. Side note, our culture has taught us that to be childish or childlike is a negative thing, and that to be an artist of any kind isn't legitimate and you'll never make any money or be successful in those fields. Which are all lies.
Lies, I tell you!
Why does all of this matter? Well, let's talk about two things right quick. Innovation and the 4 questions of humanity. As I mentioned in a previous video, I believe that all of humanity at its core is seeking to answer 4 questions. These 4 questions are so integrated into our DNA that they drive everything we do, even subconsciously. These 4 questions are responsible for religions, politics, science, education, health, and every other thing on the face of the planet. The 4 questions are, who am I? What's my purpose? How do I fit in? And what happens after I die? Our entire lives, everything we experience is building our concept and worldview to help us answer all of these questions. And our minds are
Gigantosaurus!
The capacity our brains have is still perplexing to the smartest smartpantses on the planet. Our brains are responsible for so much. Our bodies are extremely mechanical. That is, that its job is to use our 5 senses to obtain data. That's it. Well, okay, not entirely it, but mostly it. It's our brains that have to take all of these puzzle pieces, the billions and billions and gazillions of pieces of data and information, and interpret it and make it mean something. Our brains have to build the context for us to make sense of these experiences of ours. Sometimes our brains are so big that we have to think of new contexts in order to overcome a problem or find a solution for other portions of humanity, ultimately striving for happiness. In other words, because we're alive, we're forced to find a way to survive. In my opinion, this means to answer those 4 questions. In order to answer those 4 questions, we have to use our experiences, and our experiences have to make sense. And in order for that to happen, we must constantly innovate and evolve both individually and as a species.
Species.
To innovate means to make new, kind of like the idea of my favorite word ever to grace the smooth and silky Milky Way galaxy, avant-garde. Avant-garde means new and unusual, or experimental ideas, especially in the arts, or the people introducing them. Same concept. Here's the point. You can't create anything new or original without the use of making it up in a sense. Literally creating something that hasn't occurred before. The very nature of this means that we have to use our imaginations, and our imaginations must hold some validity. If you don't imagine, you cannot innovate. And if you can't innovate, you stagnate. And if you stagnate, you become
depressed, anxious, isolated, and pretty much die.
The world is running quite literally off of the minds of specific individuals who spend much of their time daydreaming. Case in point.
Y'all know Elon Musk just shot a fucking car into space, right? Like, who does that?
Okay, so I've said like a billion times, here's the point. But here's the point. Really. You can imagine. You have an imagination. The world needs you to use that imagination. Stay curious. You are a powerful and smart person with good things to say. If you have a thought, no matter how out there it is, say it! Talk about it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be you. Perfection can be worked out later. Once you've started affirming yourself that your thoughts, your imagination, and your voice are valid, you'll begin to discover things about and within yourself that the world is literally waiting for. You are both the answer and the expression of the universe. You are literally a universe. And in another video, I will use science and quantum physics to suggest this theory. Well, that's all for this week's video. I hope you guys are inspired and feel a little bit more I can do this about life today. If any of you guys are in the Redding, California area, come down to Brewcraft Coffee on Saturday, February 17th from 7 to 9 p.m. That's this weekend. My homie Matt Combe will be playing some really seriously delicious music, and I will be there. Swing by, hang out, say hi. Deets are in the description below. And as always, like and subscribe to this channel. If you have any questions or comments, or you just want to connect and chat, shoot me a message.